Okay, I think our time is up. Afternoon and welcome again to this particular session. We are here on the P4PE series of webinars where we discuss trending topics. We look at thought leadership and some insights for both the HR community and line managers. In today's discussion, our attention is focused on the CIPM Specialist Certification that was recently launched this particular month. This certification, CIPM has indicated, is going to cover performance management and learning and developments. So what is this certification about? Why should the HR community be interested or pay attention to it? Why should we pursue this certification? And what value is going to create for us within our profession, as the case is? First things first, welcome to this particular session. We periodically run this particular webinar to enable professionals and individuals and teams in order to use the insights we share to help them to personally develop, grow their business, and advance their career. You can always sign up for each of these webinars regularly by visiting our website. We'll have one running every month. And talking about P4P Institute, we are a consulting firm that enable business solutions around growth, development, transformation, and data analytics using AI. We help our clients within the Nigerian space and West Africa. We are known for our training services, certification programs, and consulting initiatives with various organizations. This is what we have done in the past time, as the case is. Okay, so someone says he can't hear me. Laurie says he can't hear me. Please confirm if you can hear me. Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, you are. You are very audible and visible.
All right, Laurie, would you mind
maybe she should log out and
out?
come in again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful. So just sign out and sign in. So we run regular programs, regular engagement sessions, as the case is, in various institutions. As you can see, we've been privileged to run these engagements in the public sector, in private sector, in various industries, as the case is. My name is Joel Omike. I've had an interesting career within the HR space and the consulting space in the past 25 years. I work on a lot of HR projects, business projects, and solutions that help organizations to advance and improve on what they are doing. I'm also an author. I've written a couple of books out there around HR, around risk management, around business growth, and also around being able to achieve personal growth, as the case is. I write very often on LinkedIn using my newsletter. So feel free at any point in time to connect with me. Our session today, it will require us to perhaps observe a couple of protocols to help us to be able to get the best out of this session. It's a very short session. We'll be done in another 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on the questions that we have within the floor. So try as much as possible to either use the hand raising feature, and I will invite you to speak at that point in time. Share your comments, share your concerns in the chat box, and when we're done discussing, when the forum is open for questions and answers, you can then share actively. I'd like to start with a quote from my book that says, "The most dangerous person in HR is the one who never challenges the CEO." So loyalty is not silence. The fact that you're silent does not mean you're loyal. Loyalty is being a courageous counselor to your executives. Despite what is going on, you stand tall, you engage, you question, you deliver, and then you help them to continue to advance in those areas. Our agenda is very clear. We are going to introduce the certifications. We'll look at the curriculum of that certification. What are the exam dates? What are the fees? What is the registration plan? Who is eligible for this particular certification? And then what preparatory programs do you have to be able to take this certification program? So let's start first. A little understanding and reminder of why we should pay attention to CIPM. CIPM is the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and has been established for over 40 years or 50 years as the case is. This particular institution is the regulatory body for human resource practice in Nigeria. And by the act given to it, it has the vision to ensure that it is the employer of choice for institutions and individuals that are interested in people management, as the case is. CIPM has a mandate to regulate HR practice in Nigeria, to monitor the various activities within the HR space, and also to control the human resource profession, as the case is. They also determine the standards of body of knowledge that each individual who practices within HR should attain, right, in order to ensure that there is continuous alignment to this particular standard with best practice from time to time. And it is because of this particular mandate that they have that this new certification is coming on board. They also provide support for the continued professional development of people management practitioners across board in various areas. So that's what CIPM is. And if you're not a member, it might be good for you to catch on with it because there's a lot of value you will get as being a member of that particular institute. Now, CIPM has come up with 2 certifications, specialist certifications. This is different from the exam you normally write in order to become an associate member of the institute or become a full member of the institute. The associate certification and membership that you get is a general certification within HR that certifies you as a HR practitioner, as the case is within the practice of HR, as the case is. But the new certification they have introduced are certifications that are designed to help the HR practice and the HR function to advance, as the case is. You will recall that the current certification from CIPM is generalist in nature. It covers every part of HR as you practice and support the HR function within the industry. Now, the new certification that is being introduced, there are about 3-4 of them that they are introducing, but for now, they have launched with 2. And the 2 certifications they've launched with, the first one is the Learning and Development Specialist Certification, which shows that if you are a practitioner in L&D, finally, there is a certification that endorses you as a professional, as an expert, and a specialist in L&D. What is this certification about? It explores the full learning cycle from needs analysis to evaluation of programs. It focuses on both curriculum development. It focuses on competency management, right, as platforms for use in being able to drive learning and development within the organization. It equips professionals who get this particular certification with the capacity to design, to deliver, and also to measure impactful learning interventions and systematic programs within the organization so that the organization can continue to advance. So this is a certification that CIPM has recently launched through their arm that is referred to as the HR Leadership Academy. The second certification is the Performance Management Specialist. The Performance Management Specialist helps us to gain mastery in being able to move from planning to review and monitoring performance in between it, as the case is. It ensures that holders of this specialist certification are able to set expectations. They are able to manage outcomes of performance management, whether be it promotion, redeployment, transfers, probation, performance improvement plan, even exit, as the case is. It also helps them to put in place a culture of performance within the organization, as the case is. This is what this specialist certification is all about. It ensures that you understand, and you're able to use various frameworks in performance management. Whether you're using the balanced scorecard, management by objective, or KPI, this performance management system and certification ensures that those who go through the certification are tested and proven to be specialists and experts in this particular area. And guess what? These two certifications also means, other than just practicing, that you can actually consult in this particular area. Sometimes in our industry, some of our professional colleagues, when they are leaving formal work, they reach out to me and say, Joel, I'd like to go into consulting. Which area of consulting should I go into? Which area in HR do you think I should specialize in? So CIPM has made it easy. So if you have had a good background in any of this particular area, it's time for you to show to the world that, yes, you're a pro, you're a specialist in this area, and you can consult also in this particular space. Secondly, the performance management enables professionals to align both individual performance to the strategic goals of the organization at that time. So they're able to make that alignment and that shift for them to see that they are doing very well within the organization. And for the first time, CIPM is launching a certification that has a shelf life. Unlike our membership, where once you meet the financial expectation, you are always a member of CIPM. But now they have a new certification that has a 3-year shelf life, which means that you need to keep the certification current. It requires you to recertify it, just like our other international certifications are. So it has reached that level of standard, as the case is, to be able to show that, yes, we have a certification that stands to time and meets the expectation like that. Now, for the performance management specialist certification, it validates expertise in designing, in implementing, in optimizing performance systems that are also aligned individual objectives with that of the organizational goals at that time. So that's what this specialist certification does, as the case is. Now, what does it cover? What does the L&D certification, what does it cover? What does the learning and development certification, what do they cover? What is the curriculum? What is the body of knowledge that is inherent in these particular certifications, so you can also be a part of it and benefit from it? First, let's look at the performance management specialist certification from CIPM. What does this certification cover? And what is the expectation of CIPM when it comes to certifying individuals in this particular area? 1, it covers foundations in performance management. The first part of it is Introduction to Performance Management, where it covers the overview of performance management, the concepts and importance of performance management. It looks at the historical perspective and the evolution of performance management over time, as the case is, all right? And it presents to us a deep understanding of what performance management is. The second part of the curriculum is on evaluating and improving performance. And in this particular area, it focuses on being able to understand the performance management system as much as possible. It looks at the legal and the ethical aspects of performance management, looks at understanding what the law says. What does our labor law say about performance management? What does this say about ethical considerations in this particular area? And then on setting performance expectations, what are the goal setting methods? How do you set goals? How do you align objectives with that of the organization and the individuals? So those are the focus area of it. The second part of performance management, like I said, is on evaluation and improvement of performance management, where you begin to look at your performance appraisal systems. And in this case, what are the various approaches for performance appraisal? How do you design effective appraisal processes and online learning resources that can help you to achieve this as much as possible? On performance coaching and performance feedback, what are the techniques for providing constructive feedback to employees? What are the coaching methodologies that is required at that point in time? And then when it comes to addressing performance issues, how do you identify performance problems? How do you manage underperforming employees in the organization? How do you design development plans within the organization? So this is what this area covers. And then the last one, the last part of the curriculum is on implementing capstones, implementing and running a capstone project. So if you're going to run a performance management system, if we're going to put a system in place, how do you implement this within the organization? The first thing in this particular area is on the technology. What are the technology required for performance management? So we shall look at various human resource information system that drives appraisal, that drives performance management system. What are those particular tools? What are the strategies for change and for putting them in place? What kind of softwares are required or apps that you can use, as the case is? Note that the curriculum does not prescribe a particular software, but it guides us in choosing one, as the case is. Then on performance management training for managers, it is also emphasized you cannot run performance management in your organization successfully without training your managers periodically. In fact, it is recommended that line managers in every organization must attend performance management training at least once every 2 years. And every year, you remind them by means of either a skills training, a webinar, or an e-learning. Because performance management might not be what they do on a daily basis, especially when it comes to performance reviews, as the case is. Then, of course, we'll go through some projects. So how do you put the performance management project in place? I have done a lot of performance management project implementation in more than 111 companies in the past 20 years, as the case is. So I've seen quite a lot of projects in terms of implementing performance management. Some successful, some still struggling to get it right, depending on the system and the culture within the organization at that time. So that's the curriculum for the performance management specialist certification. Now, how about the L&D? The curriculum for the L&D certification, all right? Now, the L&D certification is also an interesting one. It first starts with needs assessments, which looks at introduction to learning and development, needs assessment and analysis, and then learning design basics. When it comes to introduction, there you'll be looking at the overview of various learning theories and principles. You will understand the role of learning in organizational development. Under needs assessment, it will look at how do you conduct training needs assessment. Each year, especially in January, a lot of organizations develop their training needs as the cases. What's the best way to conduct this training needs assessment? How do you identify learning gaps and performance issues at that point in time within the organization? And then your learning design basics will be looking at your instructional design model. We'll develop learning objectives, how to develop learning objectives, as the case is. Very, very useful in this area. If you have gotten your CMD certification as a trainer, you will be able to relate with some of these conversations as the case is. The second part of the curriculum for L&D focuses on training delivery techniques. What are the various techniques that are used for training delivery? How about talent development strategies? What are the strategies for developing talent? And then they weave in DE&I in their learning metrics. Now, talking about training delivery techniques, What are effective presentation techniques? What are facilitation best practices in this area? For talent development strategies, we'll be looking at understanding career development frameworks, succession planning, and talent pipeline. Those are the things we'll cover in this area. For your diversity and inclusion, equity and inclusion in L&D, we'll look at those principles and how they affect L&D. They also look at designing inclusive learning experiences, not experiences that are tilted to one direction. Now, the third part of the curriculum focuses on program management as the case is. How do you manage a training program? Some call it training administration as the case is. All right. And how do you bring this to bear as the case is? So about budgeting for training. How do you allocate budget for training? Where do you find funding for training? What are the compliance required in this particular area? What are the logistics and scheduling required for training events? So these are some of the things that are presented in this particular specialist certification. And I'm sure it will interest you to know that CIPM is already taking registrations for people to get this particular certification right now. Registrations has already started. Now, since it is a specialist certification, what are the exams like? What are the exam dates? What are the fees? What are the registrations like, as the case is? For the exam fees, it is a de la creme amongst the certifications. It is not like the usual or regular CIPM certification. For the exam fees, it is about 700,000 for members of CIPM and about 950,000 for non-members of CIPM. Of course, this amount includes a 100,000 naira registration fee embedded in it. All right. Payment can be paid once when you're registering for the exam, or there's an option, a window for you to spread your payments across 3 installments, as the case is. So once you consult CIPM, they will share with you what they are currently running and how that works. The first certification exam is designed for December. Yes, you heard me correctly, December. In another 3 months from now, CIPM is ready to run this particular certification exam, both the L&D and the performance management system. The exam is going to be written in December 12th and December 13th. Those are the assessment dates for the certification exam. Now, beyond the December dates, for 2026, they've also planned out 4 windows for writing the exam throughout the year. The exam will be written in March, it will be written in June, it will be written in September, and it will also be written in December. Annually, they intend to write this certification exam 4 times in a year. If you are ready and you want to register for this exam, or you want to find out more about the certification exam, you can quickly visit their website. Just visit cipmnigeria.org/programs HR Academy. The link is there on the screen. All right, you can visit them and then learn more and find out about this particular certification. All right, so we have covered the curriculum, we've covered the content, we've covered the exam, as the case is. Next question now is, okay, fine, but who is eligible? Who is this certification targeted at? Who should write it, as the case is? So long as you are in L&D or you are in performance management and you have at least 3 years experience within this particular practice, you can take this particular certification exam. Of course, there are basic requirements like having a bachelor's degree, as the case is, right? But once you have up to 3 years experience in L&D and performance management, you'll be able to take care of and write this exam. When you are registering for this exam, CIPM is going to ask for some detail to confirm and validate that you are actually in L&D or you're in performance management. They will ask for your key responsibilities. What are your key L&D responsibilities? What are your performance management responsibilities, as the case is? What specific functions in L&D are you in? What specific functions in performance management are you in? Or are you across all of them? For L&D, are you in curriculum development? Are you in training administration? Are you in program evaluation, as the case is? as an example? Are you in training needs identification? For performance management, are you in performance coaching? Are you in individual development plan? Are you in competency modeling? All right. So each of those areas, they will also check to see what area of the function you are operating in. They also ask questions around what projects you have done. Are there any projects you have done in the past in L&D? Maybe you ran an organization-wide training. Some organizations, some L&D functions have run organization-wide customer service program, sales program, train the trainer program. What projects have you done within your time in that particular function? So this will fast track them accepting you for this certification. They will also ask for professional reference letters, all right? They'll ask you to get letters from veterans within the industry, right? So that you can be able to, they will vouch for you that, yes, this person is truly in this particular space and is doing well in those areas. They will ask for your CV. Your CV will help them to also see a history of your journey of work. And if you have samples of work you have done, it is really welcomed for them to be able to look at it for you. So we have a question in the chat box that is asking, that's from Kuye. Kuye is asking, is the two certifications to be taken together? No, they are independent certifications. You can prepare and go and write the L&D and you're fine. But if you also want to write the performance management, good to go also. You can go and write that one. But you cannot write the two exams at the same time. You can only register for one exam at a time. You sit for it, you pass it, and you're good at that point in time. If your function requires you to work in L&D and performance management, because I know these two functions, they have a lot of overlap as the case is. One fits to the other one. The outcome of L&D can speak to performance management, and the outcome of performance management can speak to L&D as learning gaps as the case is. Can a generalist take the certification? Yes, a generalist will take the certification, but you need to show some measure of evidence that you have been in this particular area. Have you been doing L&D? Within your generalist work, have you been involved in L&D? What are your responsibilities, your functions, your projects, your CV like in that area? Or if it is performance management that you want to take as a generalist, have you been in those particular area also? Have you had some work, some job role? Because you know, it is certifying you as an expert in that particular area. So one evidence of expertise is the fact that you have been functioning in that role previously than now. And that's one way to confirm that, yes, you're doing well in that particular space. Okay, so that's what is eligible and what makes you eligible. So CIPM at this point in time appointed 3 organizations as the certification preparatory centers that will assist them to prepare students for this particular exam. And P4P Institute is one of the centers that has been approved by CIPM to prepare students globally in this particular area. This certification is for people, whether you're resident in Nigeria or in diaspora, whether you're in Port Harcourt, Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Ibadan, anywhere you are, these institutes can prepare you for it. And we at P4P Institute have programs that can help you to prepare for this particular certification exam. Let's look at what we have put in place since being appointed by CIPM to make this happen for you. First, there are virtual programs for you, especially for people who are in diaspora and in locations that are far away. You can join us for Zoom sessions to attend the certification preparatory program. We run this in March, in June, in September, and also in December. Those are the seasons when we prepare students for these particular certifications. Alternatively, you may want to do a self-study. You want to study on your own. So there are course content and materials that are available, and it's independent of any of the times. They are just in alignment with the exams that is being written. So you can prepare. We have a full program that enables you to learn on your own, from the course content to the online sessions and the e-learning. that you can learn on your own in those areas. For the in-person, for those who prefer an in-person class, there are 3 days intensive boot camps to be run in 3 locations, in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Port Harcourt. Lagos, the first one in Lagos is coming up in November. And then we have for Abuja, and we also have for Port Harcourt, as the case is. So look out for those particular sessions if you are an in-person kind of individual that makes it easier for you to learn. Now, what does our certification preparatory programs provide for you as you prepare for this session? First, there is a prep course itself, which is either live, either virtual or in-person in class, all right? And it includes all the study materials, complete study materials for the exam. It includes mock exam to help you prepare for this particular certification exam also, and a battery of questions that will prepare you in this area, and a whole lot of other things that we'll share as we move down the line. Tentatively, the pricing for this course is between 500,000 and 600,000 in preparation for the certification exam. So that's what's available for you. Now, if you don't want to run this certification as an individual, your organization can bring the HR people together. Maybe you have a department of 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 HR persons, as the case is. You can cluster them to write the exam. Maybe you put together 5 people for L&D, 10 people for performance management, especially your HR business partners, right? Those in L&D, those in performance management, you can bring them together. So the organization can organize this certification program so it can assist them to take care of them and prepare them for those particular certification with CIPM, as the case is. Okay, Kuye, I have just shared with you the curriculum as the case is of what is covered in the exam. So those are the areas the specialists can begin to pay attention to. Or you can access the material that we have prepared in this area and then use it to prepare for that exam at that point in time. And I'm sure that will help you. Okay. The certifications are individual. Each certification for the exam is about 700, and then for the preparation course is about 500,000, as the case is. All right, so that's your CIPM certification. Beyond the CIPM certification, there are other certifications that we also carry. If you visit our website, if you're not sure which certification is good for you, should I do the performance management? Should I do the L&D? Just visit the website here, right? There's a navigator there that helps you to look at the various certifications. It will ask you a couple of questions about your background, and then it will recommend a bespoke certification that fits you, that suits you in that particular area. But one thing we do promise, people who go through our sessions usually have the prep class, including expecting you to be a part of the class, assignments, there are case studies, there are model tests. Each of those models, there are tests in those particular areas that helps you to prepare in advance and be a part of it. We encourage you to study at least 100 hours is our game plan. It always works for individuals. All right. There are weekly coaching sessions. There are study groups that encourage you to get prepared for this certification. We also have flashcards that you can use to remind yourself of various concepts in what has been taught. And then there are mock exams you can write before the main exam. And that helps you to find out areas that require more attention so you can focus in building those particular areas and then prepare yourself properly for your certification exam. So why prep with us? We have been in this industry for the past 15 years when it comes to HR certification. And within this particular period, we've been privileged to test and prepare students, over almost 1,000 students who have gone through our institutes for the HR certifications, as the case is. And out of these 970-something students, about 722 of them have written various international and certification exams. We currently have a pass rate of about 78%, both in SHRM, in APHRI, PHRI, SPHRI, and GPHR. We run these sessions in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, and also in Accra, Ghana. All right. It can be run as an in-company program for your organization, or it can be run as an in-person program that will run as open programs, or it could be virtual. It could also be by e-learning. Any one of these works for you very, very well. And it helps you to be able to advance and achieve the results that you want in those areas. So that's the certification program that you have, that we have built around for you, so that you can be well prepared for this particular certification. You can join us as CIPM's international conference and exhibition that is coming up this particular year, right? We intend to be in that particular conference. And CIPM would also be providing more information for people who would like to discover more and understand how this CIPM Leadership Academy is going to help them to advance their career as the case is. So make sure you stop by and receive more details in those areas. So if there are questions or feedback on what we have covered on this certification, I'll be very honored to take your questions and feedback. Like I said, my name is Joel Omike. Once again, I've been privileged to build and write various publications that help you to advance your career. From my Fire Your HR book to Data Analytics Professional, Career Decisions, Career Success Book, Your 100 Days Goals, Beyond Beliefs, and the Bowling Platform. These are resources I bring to the market to help you to advance your career as the case is. Thank you very much. So any questions or feedback, I'm sure I'll be able to take it right now. Questions, feedback, concerns, what is not clear, what you want us to clarify from what CIPM has put in place in the market. So is this certification for you? Should you consider it now? Where do you proceed? Okay, so when you get this presentation, we are going to share this presentation to all those who joined this particular session. All right, you can always access the publications. The links are on this particular slide. All right, or you can scan my LinkedIn code and follow me on LinkedIn. You'll find all of them on LinkedIn also. Or take a picture of this slide and you can always access. It's on Amazon. You can search for it on Amazon. It's on Seller. All right, you can find them on any of those particular platforms. Thanks. Okay, so like we said, this is a very short session, just to help us to see what is emerging. There will be more details, more information on how to access this particular resource, this particular certification from CIPM, and how you can be a part of it and benefit a lot in this particular area. Once again, my name is Joel Omike. I work with P4P Institutes, and I am here to help and guide you in your professional journey, as the case is. Thank you very much for being a part of this session.
Thank you very much, sir. Some of the questions that I posted has been answered by your discussion, but I just wanted to find out this other one. I asked about the cost of the combined preparation in case you're combining with colleagues from the organization, what the cost would be. Is there a different cost to that, or is the same like
So
you mentioned now?
For the exam, the cost is fixed. The exam is per head. It's per individual who is registered for the exam.
700 per head. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But for the class, I'm sure once you look at the number of people coming from you, you should be able to get good discounts to the class.
Yes, you individually is 500. So if you're more than,
Yes.
if you combine, what would it look like?
So that I'm not asking, it depends on how many people you're coming with. So if you're coming as 3, we're most probably going to give a discount. If you're coming as 10, the discount is clearly going to be different. So that's why I say once we know how many persons you're coming with, we'll be able to work out something. But standardly, we have a discount of between 10% to 20%.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. It's good that this has come to light. I remember when it was mentioned about 2 years ago at the conference, I was looking forward to it, and it's finally here. And the cost is intimidating, but it's something that can be done. That's why I'm asking the best way forward, a combination effort and all of that. So, but we'll skate through. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the next. I think you have one other training coming up on compensation also.
Yes, that's next week, Monday, Tuesday. There's also a generative AI, one on generative AI on Thursday, Friday this week.
So,
Yeah,
yes, it's Monday, Tuesday, I remember. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Is there a number I can reach you to discuss that?
Yes, numbers on the screen. We had shared some contact details. This particular screen, there's a number here. You can see it.
Okay, I got it. Got it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thanks. Thank you very much. So Shegun, Wale, you were asking if we can provide additional information. Of course, this materials, this whole presentation here will be shared with everybody that attended this particular session. So you can make use of it. All right. So, and you can also visit CIPM's website. We shared the link to the CIPM website earlier. So you can also access that information. Thank you. And if you need further feedback, further information or guidance, you can always reach out to us at P4P Institute. We'll provide you an information. And if you're asking something we don't know, we'll reach out to CIPM on your behalf to also get that detail. Thanks. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll end the session here now. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this conversation around CIPM's latest certification, specialist certification in performance management and also in learning and development. We wish you all the best as you progress down the line. Thank you. The number to chat or to call is also on the chat box right now. So also copy and access it.